All right, good evening. Good evening, everybody from Greencastle. I think I finally got it going live here, and the sun is beaming in on me. I wasn't planning on that. So, um, welcome to our our May updates. I can see that we've got some people clicking in, so that's good. A couple of things. We are live, so we have the live chat off to the side. I have Mrs. Goodpaster um, behind the scenes. She hopefully can answer questions. If not, it'll still be there, and then we can answer those later or email you if we need to, or if you want to email us. I have my notes in front of me. Again, I'm not a professional at this. I'll do the best I can. I've got water. I've got two things of water this time, just in case. Um, Reminder to follow us on Twitter. We're at GHS Purple Pride. That's our high school. And then I'm at Rogers Chad. That's got a D in it. And then also refer to the GHS plan moving forward on our website. That's still a running live document. As we continue to update things and get more information out, we will put that there. We put the new updates in red. And I really think in the days and weeks to come, we're going to have many more updates coming out. And so those are going to be topic specific, meaning if we're talking about what's going on at how do we conclude the end of the year? We know e-learning finishes May 13th, but we still have grades that we'll collect. This sun is like killing me over here. I need someone on my crew to like shut this sun off. Um, so we'll still collect grades until like May 21st, for example. So as we push information out, it'll be specific to that. And if you want to ask questions about that, that's great. Ask us at any time. But like, for example, I want to start about student pickup, which was the email that we sent out this week. I want to clarify that. I had a lot of questions that were really, really good about what can we get, what can't we get, what can we bring, drop off, what about graduation, what about senior stuff. So I have a lot of information hopefully coming to you tonight as well. So continue to email myself, email Mrs. Goodpaster, or email your teachers. That is the best and most efficient way to get a hold of us during this time. We are in and out of the buildings, but we're not working in the buildings constantly. We're not really checking our voicemails as regularly as we would like to. So email is going to be the best thing to continue to get a hold of us. Okay. So the personal item pickup, that's going to be May 11th through the 14th, that Monday through Thursday. And what this basically is these are going to be the items that are in student lockers. And I got a big disclaimer for that one. In the high school, we don't have a lot of kids using their lockers. And we do have kids that use different lockers, and we have kids that are in friends' lockers. And so the whole idea of bagging and tagging was, if I'm assigned locker 85, we took the stuff out of locker 85 and we put the name on that bag of that person. We really don't know who is the owner of those contents. So students, if you are missing items, get with your friends, communicate with them. If you had stuff in another locker, be patient with us, please. Continue to be patient. I cannot tell you the amount of support that we're getting from families and students. And I'm so thankful that you guys are just working with us. I know it's tough. So continue to be patient with us if we're needing to track down something. We have items all over in our buildings. We have Parker, we have Madison. We can try to find that for you. So we're going to try to work the best we can. Date doesn't work for you, May 11th through 14th. We can still work with families on an individual basis. So don't panic about some of your belongings, okay? So again, to kind of review, everything's from 3 to 6, Monday through Thursday from 3 to 6, May 11th through the 13th. Monday is A through H. Tuesday is I through P. Wednesday is Q through Z. There's an email with all that out there, and that also will be put into our GHS plan moving forward. And then Thursday is the miscellaneous day. So if you weren't able to make it on one of those days, feel free to show up on Thursday and we'll try to accommodate you. We're going to be on a really, really limited staff. We can't have everybody in our building either, again, for safety reasons. We'll have some people greet you. So we've tried to break it up with the alphabet to try to keep you guys at a safe distance from each other, and also allow us to handle the flow. We really don't know. I know that the primaries in the middle school, intermediate school, they'll have a lot of people coming because almost 100% of their kids are in lockers. Not us, but we have all these other different things as well. So we're hoping we can get through and be as efficient with you as possible, which means when we get into some of these other things I'm going to talk about. So I've told you when, how we're going to do it. We want you to enter from Percy Julian. So we want you to enter from the east side, drive up towards McAnally, and then take a right and get as close to door one as you can at the high school. We have about 20 parking spaces up there. Park in any of them. Stay in your cars. We'll have greeters. Not sure how many, but we'll have greeters, and we'll get with you. And then, who are you? What do you need, or what are you looking for? And we'll try to get that out to you as soon as we can. So that's kind of the method that we think will work on Monday. If it's not working, we're going to change it up. Come Tuesday or Wednesday, we'll let you know if there's any changes. What are we going to get to you? Again, the things that have been bagged and tagged in lockers, and that's primarily in the high school. We have very, very, very few things that have been identified in McAnally and Parker. We have medicines from the nurse. So our nurse is going to come in this week and put those together as well. So if you had some requests for some prescription medicine, we totally get it. So if you have those, we'll try to accommodate you with that. I know Dr. Johnson has emailed art students. We have a lot of art in the art room that students are wanting. Some they're wanting, some they aren't. So we're working with that. So we'll also try to get art to those students. And then a really cool one, we got senior stuff coming. We're going to try to get caps and gowns and cords and medals all to seniors on that Monday through Thursday time. Big thanks to Mr. Hubble and Greencastle School Corporation for picking up the tab for families and seniors on caps and gowns and all that kind of good stuff. So that is going to be free of charge. We have Balfour coming out to help us hand that stuff out, and they normally do that in one day for about an hour and a half, and they're going to try to help us out for 4 days for 12 hours. So I really appreciate what they're doing for us. So big thanks to that. We are not collecting devices. That was a common question that we were getting asked. I'm going to get to that in more detail in a minute. We still have e-learning to go. I know a kid might say, I'm done. Okay, be quiet. So we get it, but we also, it's a form of communication for us, and we're going to be limited on the amount of stuff we're trying to get out to families. Collecting things is just going to probably not allow us to be as efficient, and we're going to have to wait more and more and more. So we still need you to have the devices. We still need learning to take place. We still need to communicate. We still have AP exams, all this kind of stuff. So hold on devices, and I'll talk some specifics with that. It mentioned in the letter library books. If you have those, that'd be great. If you're not using them, if you're still using any kind of a book, don't turn it in. We have basically in the high school, the only books we have out are AP books, and we have AP exams going into June. So no, keep those books. We're probably not really collecting much of anything from students at the high school. Okay, if we need to do collection dates for anything, we'll do some of those later. So I mentioned device collection. 9th through 11th graders, you're keeping your device in the summer. Okay, so that stays with you. Seniors, I'm getting those questions. So either A, I'm done, or I'm almost done, or I'm going to be done. We're going to do a senior collection, hopefully around when we are able to maybe schedule a graduation time. So later on, if there's a specific issue, I can deal with that later. But again, right now, we're going to try to focus on getting all of the stuff out, and that's going to probably take almost all of our manpower on those days. So seniors, hold on to your devices. There'll be a senior device collection later, okay? Again, I mentioned we've got 3 more weeks of e-learning still. And not only that, even though May 13th is our last e-learning day, we're going to take grades all the way up until our original graduation was May 22nd, so May 21st. So students still have time to get work in. Believe it or not, we may have a kid that thought they were going to pass, then all of a sudden they're realizing they're not. They might want to hurry and get some work in. So it is really important that we keep you guys with your learning devices throughout the duration that we're taking grades. High school's a little different than that, than some of the other buildings, so that might be different. Okay. Um, Moving on from device, prom update. It's not a great one. We're going to probably get information out, a final decision on prom this coming week. Listened to the mayor. I talked with the seniors this past 2 weeks. We were hoping that we could still hold on to graduation to prom if we could. But right now, with the social distancing guidelines that the governor's laid out in all of the various stages, even stage 4 and 5, the issue with prom is we wanted to be able to try and see if we could get some form of a prom even in June. Once I got into early June, it was going to be really, really difficult for that to work. So I need to get with my team and talk. But the social distancing guidelines that still need to be in place based off of stage 3, stage 4 in June is going to make prom very, very difficult. So kind of a heads up there. Nope, I didn't say anything if it was canceled, but there will be information coming out. And again, I had referenced this before. I'll reference it again. When we issue information out, for example, about prom, it will be about prom. We're going to try to stay topic based so that you're not overwhelmed with all the different things. So what I say about prom doesn't necessarily mean graduation, doesn't necessarily mean device pickup, doesn't mean this. We're trying not to give too much information all at once. So I hope that kind of makes sense. So on to some cool stuff, senior stuff. Okay, so seniors. And this is really more also to the parents. I've talked to quite a few seniors and have communication through our survey. So a week ago, I met with about 30 different student leaders. And as you guys may know, we really like to operate our high school from the standpoint of we like it to be student-led and student-guided. And so it was essential in this tragedy, and it is tragic for these seniors, how much they've lost. We're hearing from you overwhelmingly how much they've lost. And it's so neat to see all the ways that parents and family members and community members are trying to give to these kids in any way, shape, or form. And so it's so important that we listen to them and try to honor whatever it is that they feel like is important. So I even kind of like the idea of a drive-in graduation at one point in time, and then it's still on the table, by the way, but I thought it looked kind of cool. So in meeting with these seniors, they helped me develop a survey to give out to the entire senior class. And I wanted to kind of share some of those results with you, because one of the things the seniors were telling me is, they wanted a traditional graduation and they don't want a fake graduation. Their words, not mine. They don't want us to videotape something that never happened and made it look like it happened. That's what they said. We still may have to do that, by the way, but right now I am completely trying to honor what they're asking for. So over 80% of the seniors that we got surveyed, they mentioned things like they wanted to be with their friends. Friends was number one. Family and teachers. They wanted to share it with people. They didn't want to celebrate alone. They didn't want to graduate alone. They didn't want to graduate in a really, really small group. So that was one thing. The other thing they mentioned over and over again is they wanted to walk across that stage. They really wanted the physical thing of walking across and feeling people, feeling live people. Okay. All right. Fair enough. So we constructed some more of these questions. And I said, well, obviously we can't do this in May. We had hopes that maybe we could do something in June or July. So some of the other things that I asked was, all right, so what if we had a ceremony in June? Could we do that? So 90% of the kids are different than parents. So parents are coming soon. 90% of them said, yeah, we can do it in June. 80% of them said, yes, we'll do it in July. Just don't mess up with the fair. And 60% said that we could do it in August. Don't mess with the fair. And then after that, after August, it dropped to about 35%. So one of the things that my team and we were looking at was, all right, if we can have it done safely, it is really looking like June, a date in June or a date in July would really work with these kids to try to preserve this traditional graduation, pomp, circumstances, crowd, family, whatever. Understanding that we may not be able to do that the social distancing requirements and safety, we may not be able to do that. So I'll tell you that right now we have soft plan, a tentative plan to try to do that. And we still need a couple more things. So I have a survey going out to parents, senior parents, and I'm going to need that input. I'm going to try to send that out tonight. I have it done. I wanted to give you some background as to why we're asking what we're asking. So again, the idea is that we can hope that we can do a graduation traditional ceremony. And again, that tentative plan would be something like probably at the football field, spread the kids out in a safe distance. I really was fired up when I heard Governor Holcomb's plan of the perimeter, visiting, maybe even up on the soccer field, maybe even up on the hill. I know it's a long ways away, but I feel like we could do that and do that safely, possibly. So I'm going to need input and guidance from parents as well on what might work, might not work. So we have those questions going out, and if you can complete that as soon as you can, it's not really long, 5 questions or so. Some of them are open-ended. I'd appreciate it. I will begin working with my team on Monday anyway. I think that and I'm a parent of a senior as well. I need dates. I need to know when, and I also need to know kind of like a deadline. So we want to be able to provide, if we select something in June, although the June stage 4 kind of has me a little bit, maybe July might be the best. Tell me if that's what you think, by the way, mom or dad. You can put that in the survey. But I also want like a deadline date. So if for some reason we have to cancel, and we are not going to be able to do the traditional one, you guys would need enough time to let family members know or plan accordingly, or how do we do this next thing? And I want to know how much lead time that you need. And I really believe I'm calling it a kind of July is kind of our end of date time. Like, so if we cannot do a traditional graduation, make that call, because the kids it's for them. So our plan is going to be to try to do something traditional in June or July, 1 or 2 dates with that backup, and then also a deadline for parents. So then we also still have non-traditional or virtual or whatever. We still have those kind of on the table, and we still need to plan for those in case, again, we slide back with this whole COVID pandemic. In other words, we're not progressing and we need to cancel. So that's where we're at. And I plan to get that information out probably within a week, so that you guys can put on the calendar, here is the first date, and here's the second date, and here's the cancellation date. So hopefully within a week, we can get that to you. So there may be a lot of questions about that. And I'm sorry if this isn't clear enough, but this is the best we got, and we are working really, really hard, and we're letting the students really guide what they feel like is important. So I'm excited. I was really excited Friday that we might be able to pull this off. I also recognize that we're going to hope to offer a traditional graduation, but that may not work for everybody. I mean, at the end of the day, we were supposed to graduate May 22nd, and after that's not going to be able to happen. I've got all kinds of things that may not work. You may not like it, whatever. I get that, and I recognize it. So we are still going to plan for those that have a conflict, whether it would be June or July. Maybe you've got a vacation plan that you still are going to. Maybe I've got some graduates that are going to get deployed or go off to basic, or maybe for a variety of reasons you don't have to tell me. You don't want your graduate maybe still at risk, or you have family members that can't participate. So we still want to be able to accommodate you, whether or not that we can walk you across a different stage, get you your diploma, have you celebrate individually. So want to be able to do that probably, I would say June, early June. So if those are concerns for you or your families, please let me know, email me, or put that in the survey. But I anticipate that we are not going to be able to have 100% of the graduates at an alternative date. So that's okay. I said we're planning for, even if we're going to plan for the traditional graduation, we still are going to have some side thoughts of non-traditional ceremonies. So that's still not going to be off the table, because we know that at any time something can change or be limited by the governor or even just by our own county. Okay. Some more senior stuff, some more specific items. So these are some of the things that we typically have done, and now we're going to do them differently. So those that are in the top 10%, I've talked with those students. Normally it's a banquet. We're going to move that to a Google Meet. It was really important that they share that experience with the teacher for them. That date is to be determined. More than likely, it's going to be about the third week in May. I'll give you guys some lead time still. I like that because we can kind of also still start to honor that graduation week. But look for a top 10% Google Meet to replace the banquet, probably the third week of May, and I'll try to get that information out. So again, when I send that out, it'll be just that. It's not going to be about anything else. It'll just be about that. So you're not, again, overwhelmed by information. Our senior awards night, that was when we would a lot of times tell you who won scholarships and all those kinds of things, getting those questions. That's going to be turned into a PowerPoint. And then we will upload that, send that out so that you guys can all view that and see it. We'll have your picture on one side, and then we'll have whatever scholarships, that's cool, that you've earned. So we're working on developing that to push that out as well. We have pictures of you guys already, I think, in our Skyward. So I think we're good to go. We're just working on that. We have signs coming. We're going to get signs out this week. I had a lot of parents help with that. I really didn't do anything, I don't think. Those have been purchased. And what we're going to do is that each one's got the graduate on their name on it. I think it's first name, last initial. And we're going to line the parking lot along Washington and then Percy Julian. Look at me point with my finger. We're going to line the parking lot with your own sign. And then after those have served their purpose, probably I'd say let's get through the graduation time, like May 22nd. But we'll let you take those as well. So we have those coming. We have a banner coming too. I don't know when that's set to arrive. It's got the names of the graduates as well. We'll put that out in the building or one of our buildings somewhere. So we have that coming. I had mentioned that the caps and gowns and stuff have been picked up by the school. So on your student pickup item day, we'll get those to graduates. If graduates can't come that week at all for whatever reason, we'll deal with it and get it to you. So we have those come in. We want our graduates to be able to have all those. We want you to be able to post pictures, send pictures out, have private moments with your family. We're probably going to be asking for some pictures. We have some ideas being generated also, maybe to produce some stuff on that week of graduation, our original graduation. This is another one, luminary bags. If we can get them in time, a luminary bag, those are those, I had to get a little bit of an education. Those are those white sacks that you kind of put like tea lights in or lights in, like usually around Christmas time, and they line up your driveway or sidewalk in neighborhoods sometimes. So we're going to give the seniors their white sacks. We're going to give those to them. They want to put their name on them or decorate them or whatever you guys want to do with them. And then this kind of came out of it, a lot of different ideas. We're going to have on May 22nd, that's our original graduation day. We want you to bring those back. I need some rocks. Anybody have any rocks? We need some rocks or some sand to weight those down, and we want the seniors to put them in their parking spot. So we want all the seniors to put their decorated white sack into their parking spot, and then we are purchasing glow sticks, purple glow sticks, and we'll designate a time when it's dark, and we'll let everybody know, but we'll put glow sticks in all the sacks in all the kids' parking lot or parking spaces, and hopefully that'll be kind of a neat tribute to, kind of what was for that original night. And we'll light up I'm gonna get permission from the football team to light up the victory tree that night as well. So hopefully it'd be a neat thing to be able to drive by and share with your family or share with your friends if you can see them. So anyway, that's one thing we have coming. We have teachers, Mr. Bryan, Mr. Arvin, and Ms. Myers. They're working on some other things for the seniors. And so we have several little plans trying to get done here. Again, kind of to honor that original graduation week. Open to any kind of suggestions or thoughts. I appreciate all the information that we're getting. This is a collaborative community effort without question. So that's kind of the idea there and the genesis there. So I'm getting ready to close. And that's my indicator to Mrs. Goodpaster to let her know I'm wrapping up. So if you've got any burning questions right now, if you've been posting in the live chat, what I'd say is maybe save that and email her or email me. One of the things we found out when we did this before was when we shut the live chat off, or excuse me, when I shut the live feed off, because I don't want you seeing what I'm doing here, it shuts the live chat off, okay? So again, if you've got a question coming up that you've just thought of, maybe I've caused you to think about it, email myself or email Mrs. Goodpaster, email a teacher. It'll get back to us as soon as you can. Again, we'll have some stuff coming out. Hopefully this week on prom. We hope to give you some solid dates for graduation. A reminder, there'll be a reminder email also about, even though e-learning ends May 13th, we'll still be collecting grades and you can still turn in things, students, all the way up until like May 20th or so. Later on, we'll get a senior device collection date. We're really hoping to put that around when we can schedule a graduation time. That would make the most sense for everybody. With that, I want everyone to stay safe, continue to socially distance themselves. Thank you so much, parents, for all that you guys have been doing. Students, thank you for all of your input and help. And if you're like me, I'm going to get the TV on here about 9 o'clock and watch The Last Dance. So be safe and enjoy. Thank you so much.